What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Let's Play Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright. We are now on the Ace Attorney side, and we're off doing our own investigation about an incident that happened a couple months ago with an alchemist, which apparently is the only unsolved mystery in this town right now. And we're heading over to the Inquisitor Hall to get more information. So off we go. Uh-oh. Wait a minute, that aggressive bark. Just please tell me that isn't... Constantine! How cute. Aha! It's Constantine! He looks happy to see us! Wish I could say the feeling was mutual. Once beaten, twice shy. That pretty much sums me up right now. Really? I don't know, I think he's looking much friendlier today if you ask me. See? Come on, Nick, pet him just once. This mutt really hates me. Poor Wright. Maybe you should stop listening to Maya. She does not have the animal intuitions like, Luke does. Well, if it isn't Sir Blue Knight. Exactly what are you doing over there on all fours? Oh, Inquisitor Barnum! Glad to see you again. Actually, there's something we'd like to ask you about. Come on, Nick, stand up already! Ooh. I'd like to meet that mutt's owner face to face. Where did my stylus go? How foolish. Constantine happens to be mine, and a true knight's companion he is. He didn't waste time sinking his teeth into the likes of you. I'm pretty sure he already did. Ugh, I had a hunch. So Constantine really is your dog, huh? Gotta admire the nerve of this guy. He just sits back and lets his dog bite people. I mean, me. Never mind that. What is it that you want to talk about? Just make it quick, Sir Blue Knight. So, you Inquisitors are the ones who investigate incidents of magic in this town, aren't you? Yes, of course. If you don't mind, we'd like to ask you about that unsolved incident with magic. There's one thing you must never forget. The Knights of the Inquisition excel at their work. Right. All incidents of magic perpetrated by the witches are dealt with by the Inquisitors, without exception. Spoken with that usual calm and collected air of confidence. That's interesting. You see, we heard different. Apparently there's one particular incident that still remains unsolved. Something about an alchemist being murdered? Ring any bells? What? Who did you get that information from? Well, High Inquisitor Darklaw. Well, why the blazes didn't you say so? You could have saved us some time. Huh? How is it my fault? The High Inquisitor has put me on the spot by leaking such information to the likes of you. Well, I suppose that leaves nothing for it. I shall tell you the whole story, since I do not believe in doing things by halves. Please, go ahead. We're all ears. It was 3 months ago that an alchemist living near the town square was murdered. Sorry, Inquisitor Barnum, but I'm kinda lost already. Is there a difference between alchemy and magic? When it comes to something that difficult, it will do no good asking me. What? Is that you say you don't know either? It seems that while the townspeople respected him, they also treated him with caution. They respected him. He used his skills to make medical concoctions and acted much like a physician. The efficiencies of his cures was almost like magic. He was famous within his neighborhood. In fact, he was sometimes referred to as Dr. Belduc by the townspeople. At any rate, it's safe to say that Sir Belduc was no witch. How can you say for sure? That's simple. Sir Belduc was a man. Well, can't really argue with that. Sir Belduc came to a mysterious end 3 months ago. A mysterious end? There were two things about his death that cannot be explained rationally. Firstly, the murder scene. His body was discovered in his residence in the study. His room was locked. There was no conceivable way the crime could have been committed, except by witchcraft. Isn't that what people call a locked room mystery? A what? Oh, it's nothing, really. So what was the other mysterious thing? Secondly, until then, all incidents involving witches have been foretold in the story. Foretold in the story? In other words, predicted by the storyteller. However, the murder of Selbel Duke did not appear in the story. Such a thing had never occurred before. So not only was this the only unsolved incident in Labyrinth's history, but it was also the only incident not to be predicted by the storyteller. This definitely sounds worth investigating. You certainly are an interesting one, Sir Blue Knight. Huh? You really think you can solve this incident alone when the Knights of the Inquisitions have been working on it for 3 months? I must say, that is some confidence. We won't know unless we try. You may risk becoming the target of some terrifying witch's vengeance. I'm hoping that was a joke. Well, I suppose you may as well take a look. Who knows, you may even find something. Selbel Duke's residence is just beyond the town square. I thought that was right. Ask anyone there, they'll soon point you in the right direction. Thank you, Inquisitor Barnum. Sir Blue Knight, I believe our courtroom battles are far from over. Until we meet again in court. I'll see you then, Inquisitor. So cute, guys! Help! I'm trying to remember if there's any puzzles in here. I don't think there was. So, let us move out. Okay. We're gonna go find some side puzzles for now, but, which the first one should be somewhere in the Great Archive. I believe Dewey has something for us. Indeed he does. Oh, it makes me so mad. What's the problem? It's my neighbor. He's got this really annoying habit. Annoying habit? He just loves stomping around his place all the time. Thanks to him, all the books in my house are now a complete mess. Not to mention, I can't get any sleep. That does sound like a serious problem. Can you even imagine how loud it is? Well, not exactly. That's what I thought. I knew you couldn't. So let me just reproduce it for you. You'll truly be amazed. Stomp on it. Is I believe the puzzle. Alright. The house's floorboards are all in complete disarray, much to the displeasure of the owner. He has decided to stomp out the problem himself. Literally. Each time he stomps on a tile, the stomped tile and surrounding tiles will flip over. Tiles sectioned off by dividers will not be flipped by a nearby stomp. Stomp and arrange all the tiles. Another trial and error puzzle. This is the Layton game with all the trial and error puzzles. So, let's see. This one is not as bad as the one that you have to do later. There's an optional version of this one, it's just, ugh. What is this supposed to be, though? Ta-da! Oh, it's food!
The answer here is obvious. Just thinking outside the box.
Go right, solving puzzles. So, what did you think of that? Wasn't that stomping just ridiculous? I've had enough already. Then why don't you just pack your things and move out? Move out? Move out? Hey, that's a great idea. I'll come and stay in the library instead. I could be of more help to Miss Mystere, and I'd be surrounded by all these books. This is the greatest idea ever. No, Dewey, I'm sorry, but I must insist that you leave and go home. Shut down. Well, Maya, let's just pretend like nothing ever happened and get going ourselves. Sometimes life doesn't go quite the way you want it to. You want it to, huh? Nope. Alright. Now we're gonna head out into shopping area. Which shopping area? I think it's the west one. Here. We're gonna get another puzzle here somewhere. Not you. What's the matter? Are you lost or something?
Of course not! How could I be lost? You listen to me! Have you two seen a young boy about the same age as me?
Nope, can't say we have. What's up? Did you get separated?
Nuh-uh! We haven't been separated! More like he went and ran off somewhere on his own!
Oh, I see. Well, if we see him, we'll bring him back here to you. That's right. He's probably a little worried as well.
Who said I was worried? Just that, you know, Cecil, he's such a little weakling crybaby. He's probably crying his eyes out somewhere right now. That wimp can't do anything without me by his side. When he feels sick, he can't even go for medicine without me. So...
I get it. It's only natural that you're worried about him. So his name's Cecil, right? Or is it Cecile? Don't worry, we're on it. If we see a crybaby fitting that description, we'll give you a shout. I think it's Cecile. I'm saying it wrong, aren't I? But anyway, now we gotta go find Cecile. Which would be somewhere over here. There we are. Elvis has a puzzle for us, of course. Hey, Nick? That kid. He must be... Hey, you're right. He must be the one that little girl was searching for. Okay, let's talk to him then. Hi there, Cecile. Who are you? A moment ago, we met a little girl who asked us to help her find a missing crybaby. You're Cecile, right? My sister Petal said that? That's right, she's been worried about you. Petal always tells me not to talk to strangers. What? I mean, you might just grab me and take me off somewhere. You might even be a witch. Well, in that case, there's nothing we can do. See you around, kid. Wow, right? Oh, come on, Nick. We promised a sister. Listen, if I'm going to be suspected of being a witch's accomplice, I'd rather just hand this kid over to one of the patrolling knights. Okay, please, could you solve this puzzle for me? Huh? If you're the kind of people who could solve puzzles, I'll believe in you. That's right, this is the city of puzzles. Oh. Train trouble. Okay. The little girl's favorite block train set ended up crashing and breaking apart into pieces. Luckily, the pieces for each individual carriage managed to stay separate. Carefully examine the pieces on the upper screen and choose the correctly assembled carriages for letters A through E. Okie dokie. Well, you just gotta look at all the pieces and then just match them. Simple, right? That looks right.
Maya the Magnificent strikes again.
Yes, there we go. I should
Check
solve
it
something
out, Nick.
wrong with Wright because he one of his phrases he says when he loses is "I'm not guilty," but he says it in a very extravagant way. That's great! You two aren't strangers after all. Yeah, of course we're not. I mean, do I look like some stranger? Well, you don't look strange yourself, but those clothes you wear sure are weird. Nick, I think we should go. Maya, we can't give up now. After all, we just solved the puzzle. Okay, Name one thing strange about my clothes. One. I could give you a laundry list of things. Anyway, we'll go and get your sister. You just wait here for a while, okay? Okay. I think I need to change Cecile's voice.
Oi, Cecile, why'd you let go of my hand and run off?
I'm sorry, sis. At least we're back together now, right?
So what? I couldn't care less one way or the other. But anyway, from now on, don't you go running off like that, got it?
Got it, sis. There you go, problem solved. It feels good helping people out like this. Even so, that was a tough puzzle. I was wondering if we'd ever actually solve it for a second there. Yeah, but we still have what it takes, Nick. I could see us going pro at this whole puzzle solving thing, just like the professor. If we get stuck on a case, we could always consider changing jobs. I'll think about it. No, please don't. I don't need more puzzle games. Okay. Heading off to Town Square now. Well, we reached the square, but I wonder where the Alchemist's residence is. Hey, Nick, look over there! There's a street leading away from the square. Hey, you're right. Let's go take a look. Yay, we found the Alchemist House, but first, a puzzle! Hey, I thought you two were working at the bakery. Are you goofing off? Well, not exactly. Actually, we thought we'd give up baking and try our hands at something else. Is that so? Sounds like a good idea. Your bread did taste a little unusual anyway. What? You mean our bread wasn't delicious? That's strange. I mean, we used so much butter and kneaded that dough so hard. Just my opinion, mind. I prefer my bread a little more fluffy and light. Oh, really? So, just how fluffy and light are we talking here? Well, maybe about as fluffy and light as this puzzle. Oh boy. Oh, this puzzle. Okay. Navigate Maya through the clouds and help her find Phoenix. Jumping into the holes in the clouds will drop Maya down to the level below. Likewise, jumping onto fluffy clouds will send her flying up to the level above. So basically a harder version of the cloud maze that we did with Luke. So, let's go. Oops. That's not the way. This frickin' maze. Oh boy, what the heck? Oh no, I can't. Okay. This way? Oh man, why? Why? Oh, frick. I'm gonna go with this one. Oh, this looks promising. This looks promising. Oh shit. Oh, look at these patterns, man. There's Wright! Right! Why can't I just cut through these clouds? That's what Maya would do anyway. She would just cut through that. Oh, okay. Okay, Jesus, let's try this one. I remember it was a top cloud, I just don't know which one it was, but looks like I picked right. It's either the top right or the top left cloud. Yeah, it looks like I picked right, because pretty straightforward now. Hey!
Leave it to your friendly neighborhood spirit medium. Check it out, Nick.
Checking us out. That was such a cute puzzle, though. Wow, impressive work. I really didn't expect you to solve that. Actually, I thought the same thing too. Well, I knew I could do it. So, what were you out-of-work bakers doing hanging around here anyway? We're investigating an incident involving the Alchemists. Do you know anything about it? Surely the Knights of the Inquisition are the ones you should ask. They could tell you a lot more than I can. You might be right about that. Even so, it's a right shame someone like him could get murdered. I often went to him myself to get medicine. He was always friendly and understanding. Seems like Sir Belduc was a good man, at least from what we've heard so far. I just hope they manage to solve this case soon. Alright, now that we're done here, we can go head towards the Alchemist place. And find more hint coins at some point. So this is Sir Belduc's residence. It definitely looks like an alchemist's house. I've never seen plants like these before. So what do we do now? Just because the owner is deceased, we can't exactly go barging in. Sure you can! You do it before! But have you noticed just how well kept his yard is? It looks like someone is still living here. Someone has definitely been doing upkeep around here, that's for sure. Hey, who's that over there? Hello! Well, first before we talk to him, let's find some hit coins. Oops. 1, 2, 3. Alright, now we can talk to the boy. Hello, boy! My sincere apologies. I'm afraid medicaments are no longer being provided here. Huh? Did you not come here for medicaments of some kind? No, we didn't come here for that. We're here to investigate the incident, the one involving Sir Belduc. Forgive me if I'm mistaken, but you do not look like members of the Knights of the Inquisition. I'm Phoenix Wright, attorney at law. And you, I'm guessing you live here? Indeed. My name is Jean Greer. I was butler to the late Master Belduc. Wow, a butler! This must be my first time meeting a real one. Well, Mr. Greer, if you don't mind, I've been told that the incident involving your master was shrouded in mystery. Has it got something to do with the Great Witch Bazella? We're trying to investigate that at the moment. Great Witch Bazella? Am I right in supposing that you are defending Isabella Cantabella? People really like saying that full name. Well, actually, yes we are. So you know Isabella, do you? That goes without saying. Everyone around here knows her. Do you think you can help us? We're here looking for leads. While he was alive, the Master taught me the value of investigating the truth that governs the natural world. If you too are investigating the truth, then it would be against his teachings for me not to cooperate with you. Would you both like to come in? We can discuss the matter further inside. That would be great. Thank you, Mr. Grerol. Whoa, spoken like a true butler. He's a pretty cool guy, isn't he, Nick? I gotta make sure that I don't have a random cutscene going and I can't save, because we're at 24 minutes now. What is this room? This is the room that Master Belduc kindly provided as my accommodation. So, is this room where the incident took place? That would be the Master's study. It is the room right next door. However, the state of the room has been carefully preserved since the incident 3 months ago. As such, entry into the room is not currently permitted. Really? Bummer. Is that by the order of the Knights of the Inquisition by any chance? Yes, and as I have lived with masters since an early age, they also decided it would be only fitting for me to stay on and keep the place in order. So you've been looking after the place ever since Sir Belduc passed away? Yes, that's correct. Now then, is there anything further you wish to discuss? We will in a bit, but first, hit coins! 1. 2. 3. All done. Now we talk to Grail. As I mentioned a moment ago, I know very little about this matter. As a matter of fact, it might be better to ask the Inquisitors. I can tell you about one thing though, namely what occurred before the incident. Before the incident? Yes, it was 3 months ago, around the time that Master Belduc was murdered. Is that cutscene?
We were on our way back from collecting specimens for research, and it was already into the small hours of the morning. There was a thunderstorm on the way, and as the storm drew nearer, we quickly made our way home.
Okay then.
Anyone would have been surprised at what we saw. But Master Belduc, well, how can I put this? He reacted in a most peculiar way. Unlike others who saw it, he seemed unsettled, as if he was truly afraid of something. After that bell tower appeared, he changed completely. Master Belduc became a different man.
Wait a second. Did you just say a bell tower appeared? Hey, that explains it. That must be what High Inquisitor Darklord meant when she mentioned an incident involving the bell tower. To this day, I do not know what the Master was so afraid of. Do you think it was connected in some way to his death? I think it must have been magic. I mean, for a bell tower to just appear like that. Mr. Grey Earl, do you mind if we have a look around? I know that the Inquisitors have already carried out a full investigation, but there just might be a clue or two with some kind of connection to the Great Witch. Well, I suppose, providing I'm allowed to accompany you, of course. There is sensitive equipment everywhere, and it is my responsibility to take care of it. I understand. We'll be careful. This game just like, oh, let's have voice acting. Oh, let's not have voice acting. I think this game needs to decide if it wants to do full voices or just not do voices. I wonder how the Professor and Luke are doing with their visit to the Storyteller. Yeah, I've been wondering about that too. A chance to meet Labyrinthia's creator. Let's just hope they don't upset the guy and have some terrible plot twist written about them. That'd only happen if it was you that visited the Storyteller, Nick. The Professor would never let anything like that happen. I've got a feeling they'll come back with some pretty useful leads. We have to do our best too, Nick. Let's keep up our side of the investigation. You got it, Maya. We're all in this together. Come on, let's see what we can find. That's the spirit! Alright. Okay. I hope there's not another scene of dialogue. According to Grey Earl, Sir Belduc's butler, the bell tower According to Grey Earl, Sir Belduc's butler, the bell tower appeared mysteriously after lightning struck one evening. For some reason, Sir Belduc became seriously agitated upon its appearance. bell tower in the town square is under continuous guard. Could this be related in some way to the death of the alchemist?
How would you know about this stuff, Layton? You weren't with us! These should not be your thoughts! Oh, frick, another cutscene!
The Great Witch Bazella will be tried in court.
That will be Labyrinthia's final chapter, a fitting end for a town ruled by witches and their magic.
Am I to believe that this final chapter has already begun?
That is correct, and there is no way you can possibly change its final outcome.
I wonder about that. You see, I gave my word to a young lady. I promised that without fail, I would be able to rescue her. If I am not mistaken, the Great Witch Trial will begin in 2 weeks' time, the same day on which you will hold your next parade. I believe that should give us sufficient time to show you what we can do.
Such a smug countenance. I find it intolerable.
I beg your pardon?
2 weeks from now, you say? I'm afraid that information is out of date, Herschel Layton.
Out of date? What do you mean?
My parade will be held the day after tomorrow, according to the amended story.
But what? The day after tomorrow? That's not fair!
No, it really isn't. Now that's the kind of countenance I want from the characters in my story.
What?
That's what I do, didn't you know? I decide the fate of characters who have no knowledge of their future. It would appear that you are not yet fully aware of the gravity of the situation. Let me see now. Just for fun, I'll write you a little story. A story full of surprises and a few tears. I shall enjoy seeing the emotions of the characters as they play their parts.
A story? For us?
Stories are a fixture of this town. You'll be wise to embrace them. Let's see. I think we need a stimulating incident. We shall have a witch, some witchcraft, and perhaps a little death.
Death?
You can't. Oh, but I can. Let me see. This is a golden opportunity to use the Alchemist's residence. How about this? Your comrade meets with death by golden curse in the Alchemist's residence. This could be a truly interesting story.
No way!
Feel free to act as you wish when playing your role in the story.
How can you?
The beginning of a new tragedy, or farce. The victim of a golden curse lies in the dwelling of a user of false alchemy. A man from afar falls to a golden curse, and a woman from afar cries out in grief. The woman is captured. Her dark trial begins. The fiery pit will cleanse all her sins.
A man from afar falls to a golden curse, and a woman from afar cries out in grief. This must be referring to Maya and Mr. Wright!
If we don't do something, Mr. Wright and Miss Fay will be in danger. There's no time to lose, Luke. Let's go and find them.
Right you are, Professor!
The story has already been written, and no matter what you do, you will not change the result. I do not agree. What we do next can change the future in any number of ways. I'm sure that's what you want to believe. In fact, a naive outburst like that could be a potent plot point. Please, be my guest. Your words may help to raise the tension and bring a little excitement to my story.
You monster!
Luke, now is not the time. We need to help Mr. Wright and Maya.
Okay, let's go, Professor. Better hurry.
That's not cool, Storyteller. Gosh! Ugh.
Professor, do you hear a flapping sound coming this way?
The sound of a large bird, perhaps. Hello!
That's the owl that we saw in the audience room.
It's holding a letter in his mouth, not to mention watching us intently.
Perhaps he wants to tell us something. I'll try talking to him and see what he wants. What can we do for you? I've got it, Professor. Hoot, that's the owl, says the letter was delivered to the Storyteller 3 months ago.
To the Storyteller? If that's so, then we can't very well keep it. After all, it's wrong to read letters addressed to someone else.
That's what the owl said. But he also said there's absolutely nothing written on the sheets of parchment inside the envelope. Look, Professor, see? They're totally blank.
A letter with nothing written on it. That is indeed most curious.
And another thing, Professor. The owl says this letter was sent by the Alchemist.
What's that, my boy? Written by the Alchemist? Do you remember what the Storyteller wrote in that story he penned a moment ago? A victim of a golden curse lies in the dwelling of a user of false alchemy, which probably means the place at which this incident will occur.
Is the home of the one who sent this letter? In other words, at the Alchemist's house, right, Professor?
It appears the address of the sender, Sir Belduke, is written on the envelope. It means we had better make our way there immediately.
Thanks, Mr. Hoot.
Mr. Hoot! The address on the envelope is somewhere near the town square.
It's a little far from here, Professor. We might not make it in time. I think we better run.
Luke, my boy, we have the need to rent a steed.
Did you just make a rhyme?
I think you're right, Professor. That might be far quicker than running.
Quickly, Luke. There's no time to lose.
Hey, easy boy! This horse is certainly spirited.
Can I save now? Oh my god!
Say, Nick, have you noticed how the color of that wall is different from the other walls in the room?
I think I've investigated enough crime scenes by now to notice something as obvious as that, Maya.
I'm embarrassed to admit, but actually there was a small fire here a while ago. It was my fault. The wall ended up a little bit singed in the process.
Now that you mention it, there are some signs of fire on the floor there too.
Yes, that's correct. Anyway, I decided to paint the wall myself.
Looks like Mr. Grail is way handier with his herbs than with a paintbrush.
I let a candle set fire to some dry straw. In all my time as a butler, I've never made such a major blunder.
No, it's not that bad. You're being a little too hard on yourself.
That's right, it's not so bad.
You think that's bad? You should see Nick try and do the laundry. Now that's a major blunder. Okay, that was one time. Anyways.
Let's go check out Mr. Belduke's study.
While we're here, could you show us around your room a little, Mr. Grey Earl?
Of course. If it will bring you any closer to find the truth, be my guest. However, as the Knights of the Inquisition have ordered that this crime scene be left undisturbed, I must ask that you refrain from touching anything while you're in the study.
Sure, we'll be careful. Can I save? Holy fuck, another 40-minute video. Okay, I'm gonna save now. And I'll see you guys in the next video.